Hey everyone, this is Quinn Palmer, the head of customer advocacy here at Milyli, and I'm joined today by Tim Randall, our director of product development. And we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about some big changes coming in Blackout 3.4 that might have some impact on your team's redaction review. Tim, can you give us a high level overview of the changes that your team made with this release?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Blackout 3.4, we've worked really closely with Relativity to improve the way that we deal with files. In previous versions of Blackout, as you know, when working on an Excel file, we create a copy of that file in the file table. Then we manipulate that file every time you make a redaction in the viewer. In Blackout 3.4, we moved that redacted file into an RDO that's associated with a document object in Relativity. What that lets us do is take advantage of a really cool API in Relativity 10 where we can have invariant give us the HTML for any file field. With that information, we can then quickly swap the document back and forth on the fly that's being displayed in the viewer.
Oh, nice. That's really great. So, what does that mean for users that are actually using the viewer?
So when a user is on the viewer, what's going to happen is something that's really cool and something that we're really excited about. Basically, when you have a viewer who is on, or a viewer who's on, say, the primary markup set, and a reviewer that's on, say, the secondary markup set, both of those reviewers are going to be able to look at the document at the same time on both of those markup sets and change the document at the same time. What that means is, for the first time ever, you basically can have multiple reviewers on different markup sets redacting a document at the same time. So what that kind of looks like here is I'm looking at this document and I'm going to go ahead and place a redaction. And while this is happening, another reviewer could be on secondary working on this document simultaneously. And neither of those two things are going to collide with one another.
Wow, that is awesome. I know some folks have had some major troubles with that. Is there going to be any visual indicators for users who are swapping between these markup sets?
Yeah, really one of the biggest things that you're going to see is kind of twofold. One, because we're doing all of this in Relativity 10 with those APIs, whenever you go ahead and make those changes and we make that API call, Relativity is going to have preparing document or loading HTML for viewer, loading document in viewer. And what we've done is we've gone ahead and put our own message in as well. In the bottom left, you'll see right down here in blue, it's going to be pretty fast because this is a really quick environment. It's going to say loading markups while it's going to that next document. So you saw that there for a brief moment. If we jump back, you can see loading markups. So whenever we do that action, whenever we go to the next document in a document list, that indicator is going to be there so you know where we're at. So what you might get as a result is a little bit of artifacting where you get to a document, maybe it's a really big one and there's a lot of markups to load. What's going to happen is you'll see the default document. We'll let you know we're loading the markups, and as soon as the markups are loaded, we'll flip over and show you the correct HTML for that.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. Sounds like a lot of work can be done in a really small amount of time now. But so when everything's done, what does this all mean for the production process?
That's really probably the most important part of this whole thing that we want to have this conversation for and help everyone get aware of before upgrading to this. What this means is because we're no longer manipulating the file and the file table, in order to get the correct redacted copy as the primary file for Relativity to produce, you have to run a production preparation project. Once that document is in the locked state from production preparation, it's going to be safe to produce. We've added a new button on the viewer that lets you access the marked up file, because what happens by us not changing that on the fly is when you click the download up here, so if I click this sample clinical trial budget download, this is always going to give me the original file, the original unredacted copy, unless we're in the lock state. So you'll see down here next to the markup set is download markup file. And when I click on this, this is going to give me that redacted copy. And since we're still creating this file on the fly, that's going to be no delay. That file is going to always download instantaneously for you. So we really hope that this gives like a nice separation. I know that there were some really big issues with clicking this link up here. Relativity caches that file download. That results in this scenario where you've made all these redactions, you hit that link, and then that file that you get displayed for your viewers just doesn't have those redactions in it. It causes a lot of confusion. I know that we get tickets a lot of customers asking us, hey, this stuff's not getting redacted. That perception was in a large part due to that caching. And so this lets us work around that. And I think the experience is going to be a lot better for everybody.
That is amazing. I know I've worked with several folks on that same kind of thing with the caching issue, and it's generally a really confusing thing to explain. But this is all really awesome. Thank you so much, Tim. These are some really big changes that I think will really provide a lot of value for all of our users here. And I really appreciate you taking the time to walk us through this today. And I really appreciate you all for listening. So thanks, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.